All right.
Good?
I don't know.
Can you hear me? Wisha, washa.
I don't know. All right. Yeah, I think we're good. Let's see if we
Good?
can. There you go with your big fucking with our big fucking mouth. You finally get it. This fucking perk can suck my dick. It's been more fucking problems than it's done good for me so far.
What has?
This pro.
What?
Just give me a
What are you
second. Let me.
talking about? They're the same thing.
No, no, it hasn't. Having to reset everything.
Oh, your settings?
Pain in my dick. I haven't even seen like everything you guys been talking about. I haven't seen none of it. I don't know what you guys have been talking about. Fucking upgrade this, upgrade my fucking ass. Yeah, Horizon looks good. Horizon's always looked good. Hello, Brett. How are you, man? You know we've been talking to you all day today.
It's in the chat or in the convo.
He's in the YouTube chat where you should
Oh,
be
okay.
when you comment on videos. Nelson,
What?
you always DM me like, yeah, that was cool, or yeah, that video game, whatever.
I'm
Just
sorry. I'm usually at work.
write on the video. That way we get even like on your videos, I always make a point to try to leave a comment every time for the what do you call that thing on YouTube and social media? If people hit like, it spreads it out further to others. Algorithm. Well, so far we have two people in here. One of them is me. The other one is Brett. Come on, Brett. You better not fuck me, dude. I'm gonna fucking hit you up tomorrow. You better be for real about this shit.
What?
Playing Halo. What's up, RPG?
Oh
I
no, not Halo.
I watched you know those you ever seen those like AMR videos? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Basically they'll have different kinds. Sometimes it's like, well, the one that I saw was like a early 2000s bedroom, like a kid's bedroom, and ASMR. Thank you, Brett. And it had it was just like a bedroom. The window was right there, and it was like nighttime. It was like rainy, and the lights were low, was dim, just a lamp in the corner. And on the TV, it had like a a box TV. The Xbox controller was on the bed, and there's Halo 3 just playing, on the home screen of the game. And I never experienced Halo when I was a kid. I didn't have an Xbox till I was fucking 30. 30. How old am I? 36. So 33 or 34. What up, hero? Is this the real hero? Uh, and I didn't ever experience that, right? But I have experienced that room before, just not with Halo. And man, isn't just nostalgia a fucking asshole, man? Well, anyways, the video's like 7 hours long, and I watched like 2 hours of it, bro. Just sitting here in my fucking chair, just reminiscing of when I was a kid, and it's the weekend, and you fucking, you got some food in the fridge, you just got a brand new game or something, and no school, no nothing, and you just can play games all fucking day. Maybe your parents are out, maybe they went on a date night, maybe they went out that night or whatever, so it's just you. Maybe your siblings are in the house, but your siblings are actually leaving you alone tonight and they're fucking off in their room or something. Like, I just miss those days, man. Much simpler fucking times. Now we have fucking retards out here talking about that RDNA 2 is fucking on the Xbox is better because PlayStation has only RDNA 1 and yeah, welcome to 2024 guys, right? This year's about to end, heading into 2025. But what up, Hero, RPG, Brett, and I? Because I make the fourth watcher. Because I pay attention to the chat on my phone. Because I can always go back and look. Versus on the TV or the PlayStation, chat pops up and disappears. But welcome to the State of Game podcast. And the State of Game podcast tonight is, I think, going to be pretty good, man. We have Nelson finally back from his hunting deer trip last week. We missed him, not really, sort of. How you doing, Nelson?
I'm all right.
Okay,
Better than my
Nelson,
wife is now.
what's wrong with your wife?
She's been really sick. Luke brought some shit home last week and fucking spread it throughout the house. My kids
Yeah,
have barely been to school the last week and a half, so
yeah, my stopped at my mom's house for dinner, like I do on Sundays, and she was sick as fuck last week too. My niece is
shit's
currently
going around,
sick.
man.
Yeah,
And kids like they're around other dirty kids, so they fucking that
dude,
shit spreads like wildfire.
kids are some of the dirtiest fucking humans
I
on
wasn't
this
sick for
planet.
25 years now, dude. Now I'm sick every 4 to 6 weeks because my kids are bringing something home.
Ever since I started homeschooling my kid, we don't get sick anymore. We don't get sick anymore. Sometimes we get something from a family member, but I mean, fuck, my kid hasn't been sick in been months. I haven't been sick in years. Last time I was sick, I had COVID. Now that I think about it, that was probably about 3 years ago, and all I had was a mild headache and no taste. Headache went away after a few hours, and the no taste lasted for a week or 4 days or so. And I was off work, and I beat Spider-Man. Got the platinum for that game, and I got the platinum for Miles Morales. That was heaven. I got paid to stay home. I literally, and then I didn't have my son, right? Because I had COVID, so my son's mother's like, I'll keep him. We don't want COVID over here. I was like, perfect. I literally woke up fucking 7 a.m. in the morning, played video games till I fucking went to bed at midnight and did that shit for a week. That was amazing. Amazing. Food, I bought it. Fuck it. I think I made a sandwich. That's the amount of cooking I did that week. But yeah, that was a fun week, man. I got the platinum for those games and yeah. So but here we are in another week. Uh last week we had Brett on the show, Iron Man, for those of you guys. He's part of our Discord. If you don't know, or if you're not part of our Discord, go ahead and join our Discord. We talk gaming, all sorts of shit in there. It's a fun time. We have a varied group of gamers there. We got Brett, who's a bot, and the rest are ponies, hard ponies, like the ponies that you see on Twitter. That's who we have. We also have a couple PC guys. I don't think we have any Nintendo Switch guys. Our kids play Nintendo, but I don't think none of us like play Nintendo. Do you play Nintendo? Nelson, the only
Yeah, a
other
little
guy on the
bit.
podcast. What games do you play on there?
Once in a while I play Metroid, Kirby. I finished Mario RPG on there. I usually only play it when we're on a. Other than Mario RPG, I usually just steal it when the kids fall asleep on a trip. So I never finish nothing. I just play it for a while.
RPG. I'll show you a hard pony. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Well, if you're new to this podcast, me and Nelson started this podcast, or I got the idea to create a podcast where I wanted it to be unfiltered and not walk on eggshells, not say the politically correct thing, just fucking have fun. And who else better to bring along than Mr. fucking Nelson Gaming Culture, who's got a fucking potty mouth. And I said, fuck it, let's go ahead and start our own fucking podcast, and that's what we
That
fucking
shit
did.
got CSP over my house.
Oh, dude, facts. But I mean, it is what it is, man. Look,
DPS.
yes, CPS. But look, man, we're gamers at heart. Nelson has slowed down on gaming a little bit recently because he's been working his ass off, trying to pay them bills. My gaming, I've been playing a lot, but I haven't really been playing anything, if that makes sense.
Well, now
Like,
that deer hunting's over, I'm still gonna work overtime if it's available, but there'll be a lot less family get together type. You know what I mean?
yeah,
there'll be a lot less. Oh, there's this event going on, or derby, demolition derby, or monster rallies, or fucking all that type of shit. There'll be a lot less of that. So it's
Yeah.
fucking hibernation season, baby.
Yeah, no, this is my favorite time of year. We get an hour of our life back. It gets dark early, like around 4 or 5 o'clock. It's already dark. I love that. I love it. Also, holidays are here, so I'll have way more time off work. I mean, next week I'm off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then I have off.
You keep saying next week. That's like 2 weeks from now. I'm pretty
No,
sure.
dude, it's next
You
week. It's next
okay?
week.
Like this coming Thursday.
No, that's this week.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I know. It's like the first day of the week, so it might fuck you up. But if I would have said next week yesterday, then it would have meant this Thursday, Friday. But we're in a new week, y'all. Today's the first day of the week. So, um, yeah, and then December, I have all Christmas off, then New Year's Day, New Year's Eve. I mean, so it's a beautiful time.
You know
So
what
yeah,
depresses me though? I looked at the schedule for next year and it's like, oh sweet, I get all this time off for like Thanksgiving and Christmas and shit. Then I don't get another holiday until fucking almost June.
yeah,
That's depressing.
yeah, right. Oh, well, we get it used to be Good Friday, but they changed it
We don't
to
get that.
a different name, but we still get Good Friday. But yeah, I get close to a month vacation time now. I've been on my current job going on 7 years. Well, this month, no, October. Oh, whatever. 7 years. I'm going on 8 years, and so now I got about a month worth of vacation. And fuck, I mean, this year I took a week and a half, went to Florida. I've taken like, a few 3 day weekends, 4 day weekends, and I still have 2 weeks that I'm carrying over, and that's not even including the time that I already got for the holidays that I requested off. So I got a lot of time. I am gonna be going first quarter of the year. I'm going to Nintendo Land in Florida. I was really
God
hoping
damn.
that my Florida vacation would have matched up with when Nintendo Land would have opened, but it didn't. It's gonna open up the first quarter, or they say the first quarter of the year. So as soon as we have an official date, I am buying a ticket, and me and my son are gonna head out there. Probably be out there for just a couple days, maybe 2, 3 days, and go check that place out. I just don't want to go to California, the commie state. I refuse to. A gallon of milk out there is like $7. Fuck that.
Gallon of
Uh,
gas is like $7.
yeah, it's so
Oxygen's taxed.
yeah, oxygen's fuck everything's taxed. So yeah, fuck, I went
It's
to
tax. It's like I actually said when they said I don't remember Shift Up or something like that was opening a fucking a studio in California. I'm like, y'all fucking ain't gonna be able to make a profit now, you dumb bitches.
yeah, yeah, no, it is crazy, man. I just hope that things get a little bit easier, starting this new year, for all of us, man. I got a good feeling, man. I really do. I've been optimistic lately. I've been feeling good. Um, I think that we're gonna the some of the hard stuff that we've been through the last couple of years. I think we're gonna get past that. For everybody, not just us here in America, but I think for worldwide, for my Australian, gamers and UK gamers and Europe gamers. I think it's going to be a good year. As far as gaming goes, we really don't know much about 2025, and I actually wanted to talk about that. Um,
Well, we're gonna know a lot more here in a couple weeks, though.
yeah, we'll have the video game awards,
Game Awards, there'll be a lot of shit announced for the first half of the year.
but
A lot of stuff.
the crazy thing about that is, and I don't know, tell me if I'm wrong, guys, but lately it's been feeling like we have known like I remember the last 2 years we've all been saying how February is a stack month, right? So if we're in
It's ridiculous.
2022, we say that 2023 February is going to be a stack month. 2023, around this time we talk about how February 2024 was going to be a stack month, and they have been, but this year we're not saying that at all, and I think that we haven't really been getting a ton of announcements for 2025. Now, I have my list here of physical games that are coming out, or I had it here. But yeah, I don't really remember anything huge. Now, we're still missing stuff like Solid Snake. Do you know anything about that, Nelson? Any dates on that?
No, it's supposed to be sometime early next year, but there is no concrete date. I'm expecting that at the Game Awards. I'm guessing
I thought that
the
was supposed to.
official. It was supposed to come out this year. So was Judas.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Neither one of those games are
Judas.
out. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, Judas.
That was supposed to come out this year too. So I'm guessing February, March next year.
Damn, where the fuck my list go?
There's like 3 or 4 games where we thought they were going to be out this year, which I was like, I'll be cool with that if it gets. I just want to know when,
Yeah, I
because
mean
I got to pick and choose which games I want.
the game that I've been looking forward to that I know is coming out in 2025 February is Kingdom Come. That's gonna be the Kingdom Come 2. That's gonna be the main one that I've
Oh
been
yeah,
looking
you got
forward to.
Monster Hunter 2. That's
Monster
that whole
Hunter.
month that's gonna shit on Avowed. There's like a third game too. It's the one I want, freaking like a dragon,
Oh, the pirate one.
pirate one. Yeah, that looks sick, dog.
Dude, who makes that? Who makes that game?
Sega,
Sega. Dude,
RGG Studios,
RGG Studio. That's the name I was looking for.
the best studio in the world because they come out with a game like every year. And they're
Yes,
only 300 people.
that's what I was gonna ask you. Is it RGG Studio who does all the Yasuka games?
Yakuza, all the remasters, all the offshoots.
That's insane, man. When you think about how
They come out with a
proficient.
game. They come out with like 1.5 games per year on average. It's fucking insane. They come out with like a full game, a remaster, or a remake, or every year. 300 people. I thought they were like 3,000. I looked it up. It's 300 people. Don't
Yeah,
ask me how
dude.
they do it.
Them dudes are incredible. I don't like. I don't really play those games. Are they the same people that make like Lost Judgment?
Yep. Same
Jeez.
studio.
Yeah,
Yep.
them dudes are fucking beastie over there, man. And
It's
you know
only
what's
300 because I looked it up because I was like, yo, how do these dudes put out 2 games like every fucking year? They got to be like a publisher size, like 3,000 people. Nah,
yeah.
300.
Yeah, them dudes,
Mm.
and not only do they put out games, but they're quality games. They look good. You don't hear about them being buggy or broken. They just do good fucking work, man. They're like, those studios like that are the ones that keep the gaming industry fucking going. Those are the real MVPs of the gaming industry. Yeah, we hear of the fucking Neil Druckmanns and what's another fucking
Yeah, but the
big
Neil Druckmann
director?
got like 800 people, and he come out with a game like
Well,
every 6 years now.
Well, that's my point. What's the name? Corey. We hear about the Corey Barlows, the Neil Druckmanns. We hear about these big guys, but these fucking assholes only come out with a game once a fucking decade. Like for example, which is
These guys are
part
coming out with an 8 to 9.5 game every year
which
with a couple hundred people.
part of
Crazy.
our topic today is Neil Druckmann. So there's been some news coming out that Neil Druckmann has been directing the new game by Naughty Dog, and they've been working on it since 2024. Now, in a normal world, you would say, oh, they're getting ready to announce the game in 2025. But we know better because we know Naughty Dog and we know Neil. So we know that we won't hear shit from this game till at least 2026, release in
Minimum.
2028, 2029, maybe even
Maybe.
PS6 timeframe. Who the fuck knows with these people, right? But it's like we talk about efficiency, and in the video game world, efficiency is key because when you're not efficiency, money gets spent and in large volumes and very
Yeah, like
fucking
factions
fast.
too. Like they could have just put a tack on in like a year and made money off that, but they kept like you got to know your limits. Like, can we do this? And you can't let a game get out of control like that. That's just piss poor planning. Like it keeps getting bigger and bigger. And it's like, okay, now we got a job that takes 1,000 people and we have 200. Like, how's that gonna work? Like, you didn't think about this when you kept adding shit on. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. Hey, what's up, Warwana? How you doing,
It's like
bro?
when your eyes are bigger than your stomach, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like when you go to the grocery store hungry as fuck and you're just supposed to get bread and you come back with half the fucking grocery store.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, efficiency is
Like,
key,
yo, we
man.
got 150 people for this project, but we keep expanding the project to now we need 1,000.
Yep,
Like, that
and
ain't gonna work.
it's knowing your limits, knowing your capabilities, and just being self-aware. But for people that don't understand why it happens, so for example, I just read an article last year, so not gaming related, but it was an article about self-awareness. And for example, I'll give you guys an example of self-awareness. Me personally, Will 777JP, when I go to the grocery store, which tends to be after work, it's generally packed. Not like super packed, but busy. People are getting off work, they're going to the grocery store, maybe they got to get something last minute for dinner or even buy stuff for dinner and they just stopping in real quick, right? Well, I grab my stuff, I go to the line. There's somebody in front of me. I say to myself, don't get too close to this person because I wouldn't want somebody to get too close to me. So I stay a little bit further back. I turn around, make sure there's nobody behind me to know how far back I got to stand. If there's somebody behind me, then I back up and I go to a little bit to the side. The whole point of that is to make sure that I am respecting people's space and boundaries. That is being self aware. I am self aware of my position in the line and how close I am to people. Only 20 to 30% of people are actually self aware. So when you talk about in video games, being aware of your capabilities, being aware of what you're good at, being aware of the things that you can get done within the time frame expected, this is it. Only 20 to 30% of them. So then you have people like the Yakuza makers where they can put out a game every year or every year and a half, and it's just 300 people. They're very self-aware. Then you have people like fucking Neil Druckmann who takes fucking 3 console generations to come out with a fucking game. It's just the way that it is. And look, we are all fans of these developers, right? We bitch and complain, but when the game comes out, we're happy that it did, right? And if you guys watch my mail call video, my last one, when I got to Jedi, the first game, Jedi Survivor, no, Jedi. Nelson, what's the name?
Survivor. That's the second
No,
one.
no, Jedi Fallen Order. Fallen Order. Sorry about that.
That's the
Jedi.
first one.
Yeah, the first one. Jedi Fallen Order, I gave a little spiel about how I remembered me playing that game for the first time. It was during holiday season, Christmas time, and I had off work and I remember playing it and I beat it and I loved that game so much that I wanted to play the second part the following week. I knew that was going to be impossible, but I started following the developers and just trying to get every little bit of information, hoping that they can get the game done by the next fucking holiday or the next 2 holidays. Of course, we just got it this year, but it's like, damn. And I've said this before. At the pace,
Long though, it actually needed a longer time, but they only did that in 4 years. That's pretty good for a game that size. I put
yes,
86 hours into it, and I didn't even, you know what I mean?
yes,
That's a good
absolutely.
timeline.
No, that is a very good timeline. But the gamer in us, we want that
It
shit
still
now.
needed another few months, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, I did. I mean, what's the word? When you need to get it polished and optimized.
Optimized.
Yeah, yeah. All those things. I mean, I had
You know
some.
why they wanted to make that quarter and shit like that, and it was supposed to come out like May the 4th or whatever. Like they wanted it by that end
Yep.
of that quarter, so they were like, "Oh, you got to come out with it." Like, so they delayed it like 2 weeks, and you know that shit needed a lot more time than that.
It's the same shit that happened with Callisto Protocol. Callisto Protocol wasn't supposed to come out till 2023, first half of the year, but because they wanted to end their financial,
Yep, it's all
quarter,
about making quarters. Quarter
they
quotas.
fucking pushed it out, a whole fucking 6 months early,
Which
and
it doesn't make sense though. You make that money in the quarter, but if you would have gave Jedi or Star Wars, let's just say it sold 7 million copies, it would have sold 10.
yeah, but they, with
That would have
executives,
been
they don't
another
give a fuck.
$200 million next. Yeah, I know, but you'd think it's like, well, I'll take the hit this month if I can make an extra 200 mil off the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hmm And look, and I
dumb.
get
I
it.
don't
I've
know.
been in those positions before. I'm looking at my P&L. I'm looking at each line, and I'm figuring out, fuck, how are we gonna make our money this month? I gotta pay. I gotta pay X employees. I have to, get merchandise. I have to, pay off these loans. I'm looking at my P&L and I'm trying to figure it out. And I'll just be like, you know what? We're gonna do a fire sale on these items or this section of the store, and yeah, I'll make a shit ton of money, but I'm gonna be doing it at a loss. So instead of making my 30% profit, I might make only 5%, but because I got an influx of money, I'm able to survive another month. And next month, we'll look at alternative ways. I've been in that position before and had to make that decision. Thankfully, those decisions only come every so often, right? Very few and far in between, because like I tell people, especially when you're like trying to kick a habit or you're like financial, like living paycheck to paycheck and shit, I always tell people eventually there's going to be a moment in your life where you're like, I'm tired of this. I need to do better. and something within you is just gonna click. You're just gonna want to quit something or do something else or work something out. And I think that some of these developers have to go through that process as well in order to get into a position where they're producing games, where they're making the money, where they're managing things accordingly, so they're not finding themselves um, crunching at the very last minute, releasing games before they're done, and hurting the legacy of the studio in the long run. But the days of a big a big spender coming in and saying, "Hey, we're gonna throw this much cash at you for this percentage of your game, and we're gonna, be your little life raft." I think those days have ended, and we've been seeing the last couple of years so many studio shutdowns, so many deals, publishers buying studios, bigger publishers buying smaller publishers. We've been seeing that, so I think that now our people are becoming a little bit more competitive on that side of the business versus before. You can find a lot of what do you call these people, money people, for investors, investors,
Investors too, yeah.
and back in the early game of video games, late 90s, early 2000s, it was it was a little bit easier, right? I tell the story all the time of the four Nintendo games in the 90s that cost them less than $10 million to make, but combined they made billions of dollars just in sales, not even including the legacy of the IP, right? Like Mario, Donkey Kong, like the legacy of these IPs have made Nintendo way more money than the billions they made just by selling these damn games, right? But it was just a different time, man, a different time. And these studios complaining and these fucking studio heads complaining and these studio or these video game business people just complaining about there isn't enough money. Fuck you. Video games are making the most money in the history of the fucking industry, and you're talking about there ain't no fucking money out there. So what do you want to do? You want to shortchange the fucking gamer. You want to make the game shorter. You want to charge us more. You want to add accessories. You want to give us part of a fucking game. You want to throw microtransaction in a single player fucking game. Fuck you. We as gamers have to stick together and say, you know what? You want me to buy your fucking game? Sell me. Sell me on why I should buy your fucking game instead of his fucking game or her fucking game. We need to stop just saying, oh, it's Naughty Dog, bending over and taking it up the ass just because it's fucking Naughty Dog. Fuck that. Make Neil Druckmann or any of these fucking assholes earn our fucking dollar, especially in today's world. A lot of people are struggling. Shit's expensive. Make them earn our dollar. If we make them earn our dollar, they're going to give us a much better product that we can all be satisfied with, guys. Sorry for that little rant there, Nelson.
They get more and more picky, so
Yeah, more. And Nelson's right. Nelson has been more and more picky. I'll say this year, he's been more and more picky. You know what I'm saying? He's taken account into the games
like,
that he
oh,
has.
if I still wanna buy this game, yeah, I will, but it's just not what I want to pay full price for. I'll get it later.
We'll get it later. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I made a little rule to myself too. I said I'm not gonna buy any games day one unless I want to play the damn game. And I've been doing pretty well with that. So I'm also making adjustments. And yeah, we just got to keep it going, guys. I think the tide is turning just a tad little bit here on our favor. I think that Lyrian Studios really. What's up, Magnificent? How you doing, bro? Hey, how you doing? What is it, Latimer Johnson? How you guys doing? Welcome. Thank you for coming in today. But I think the what game was I talking about?
Larian Studios.
Larian Studios. I think Larian Studios really put pressure on these guys, and we know they did because look at the journalists, quote unquote journalists, right?
Yeah, we can't make that. We can't do that.
we can't.
What?
We can't do that. That's what. Like, shut your ass up, bro. Let's say, look, the world is. It's not the our
Better
world.
figure it out.
Yes, our world is not a fair place, man. People that should get ahead sometimes don't get ahead. People that should sometimes don't. It is what it is, right? But what we can do is we can control ourselves, and we can
That's what
come out.
That's the first lesson my dad always taught me growing up. I was like, "That's not fair." He's like, "Life's not fair."
Exactly. Life's not fair.
Get
So
over it.
you as a studio, you can control the things that you can control, right? You can control the people you employ, how you treat your employees, how you train them, the expectations, the goals that you set, your spending, et cetera, et cetera. You can control all these things. And if you focus just on that, and look, I don't need to work in a studio to know this. I'm in business. I run a business myself. That's what they're doing. It's a business. They're coming up with a product and they're trying to sell us a product. It's that fucking simple. So you don't need to be a developer to understand this stuff. Now, yes, the work itself that they do is completely foreign to me. I am just a fan and I wish them all the best, right? As a fan. But as a business person, get the fuck out of here. These are the same excuses that my salespeople tell me, but Will, the economy is shit, or Will, nobody's buying anything, or, just these excuses, which,
Your paycheck.
yeah, it's like, hey, bro, if you want to let these excuses pay your mortgage, then you go on right ahead. But we can control the things we can control. People aren't buying shit, let's lower the price. People ain't buying shit, let's increase the value. Let's give them better customer service. Let's do things differently. Let's hear from the customers. Let's see what the customers are saying. Why aren't they buying? Is it specifically a financial reason, or is it because something changed within the product? And we make adjustments, right? Our customers are our everything. Like I tell my employees, our customers are our bosses. They're the people in charge of us. All right, doesn't mean that they come into the our business and they just move shit around and say whatever the fuck they want to say. No, no. It means that we have a product and we listen to what they want out of this product and we change it based on their needs. And every customer is different. Some customers want stuff a little bit different than others. If we can accommodate, then that's what we do. When's the last time the video game industry asked that about their customers? When? Nelson, do you know when's the last time they asked that about their customers?
Ask what? They don't ask shit no more.
Okay. Or let me ask you this. When's the last time they called you a bigoted, sexist, racist because you didn't like their shit?
A couple days ago.
Okay. So you see the difference, guys? You see the fucking difference? They are entitled. They they feel that we should be buying their shit just because they made their shit. That's not how it works, bro. That is not how it works. And as
There's an
much
audience out there, and you got to make your audience happy.
you got to make your
That's
audience happy. And as much as I love the video game industry and it's what I do as my free time 99.9% of the time, as much as I love them, is as much as I'm going to go hard against them. It's like your kids. If you don't discipline your kids, you don't love your fucking kids. It's plain and simple. If you don't discipline your kids and tell them, hey, that's wrong, you do not love your kids because out of love is where the discipline comes from. Doesn't mean you abuse them verbally, physically, none of that shit. But you need to correct the wrong shit that they do because you know that is bad for them. And because out of love, because you do love them, you want to correct these bad things that they're doing. It's the same thing with the video game industry. I love them so much that I'm going to call them out on their bullshit when they do bullshit because I want them to thrive and do better and fix it so they can have more longevity. But yeah, Nelson, hold on, before we go, we ask you the question. Let's catch up with the chat. Money buying collector's editions day one. Yep, I haven't bought a collector's edition in a while. I used to
I've never
buy,
bought one.
well, I used to buy a lot of them. Not a lot, but PlayStation first party collector's edition mostly. But ever since this generation, since they stopped putting discs inside the collector's edition, I've avoided them. The last collector's edition I bought was Spider-Man. The last one before that was Horizon. So, and then the Spider-Man, the main reason I bought that one is because I was able to get a free copy of the game physically. So I was like, fuck it, I'll buy the collector's edition, and I ended up giving my code to Thrifty. So that's what we did last year for Spider-Man release. Otherwise, I was just gonna skip it because I'm a physical guy and I want my physical disc. Unless it's an IP that I really, really love, like for example, Horizon. I love that fucking IP to death. I even bought Horizon Lego. I was gonna show that tonight on the stream, but I decided to do AK-xolotl instead because I've had, including Nelson and his kids, have been asking about it, so I decided to do that.
Game now. I'm gonna see if it's on sale for Black Friday. Even though if it's not, then I'll get it $20 or whatever.
But yeah, so something like Horizon, what I'll do is I will buy the collector's edition. If I can sell the code, like to my cousin or something, or my buddy or something like that, I'll sell to him for cheap. I'll like $40 or $50, whatever I can get out of it. Then I'll just take that money and put it towards a physical copy of it. If it's not something I love, then I completely ignore it and just wait. Who's the next? The means gaming industry hasn't been the same since the last days of E3. Yeah, I agree. I agree, man. A lot's changed since E3. This war in gaming is hilarious, man. There is a massive minority screaming that they are the majority, and it's hilarious. Yeah, well, we said this before, War. I'm sure you've heard me say it in Thrifty's podcast, where the hardcore gamers that we are, we're the minority in this. We are the minority. We do have power, absolutely, but not the power that we think we have. Our power extends to marketing, basically, the word of mouth. We're the ones that can really get a game hyped if we really wanted to. We're the ones that can shut shit down as far as bad press, bad word of mouth if we really got together and planned this shit out. But as far as like who buys the games, it's not us. We're not the million, 2, 3 million day one sales. That's not us. We're a very small minority of this shit. So we have way less power than we think we do. But that being said, we need to flex whatever power we have. Whatever power we have. And the strongest weapon that we have is how much money we're gonna spend, if we spend any at all. Keep games flopping and keep blaming gamers for not buying games they were told not to buy if it wasn't for them. Absolutely. Yeah,
Hey,
we
they
just
keep putting shit in games I don't want to see. Well, you're just saving me money. I won't ever buy your shit. I mean,
yeah, 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 absolutely
I'm not
correct,
your
man.
audience.
Nope.
You make it for an audience, and I'm not that audience. No offense. I don't care.
Yep. So, well, that's my spiel for the state of gaming of the week. Now, let's move on to the next topic because Xbox has been marketing lately. Have you guys seen Xbox marketing videos lately?
Playing Xbox right now. Couple of them.
A couple of them. Your your phone is an Xbox, your PC is an Xbox, your fridge is
My
an
microwave,
Xbox.
my phone charger, my
Your
phone, my
what
TV, my PlayStation,
what
my
is it that you
dryer,
said was also an Xbox, Nelson?
vibrator.
Vibrator. Your vibrator is also an Xbox. Your butt plug is an no. Butt plug and vibrators are not Xbox because they don't have a screen. Come on. But yeah, everything's an Xbox, and people have been pushing back on this marketing. And there is one guy out there that has been defending this shit. And I actually want to play a clip of that for you guys. Now, once again, this isn't a high production thing, so this is literally me playing a video on my phone through my speaker. But before we do that, I really, really have to piss. Nelson, can you tell the gamers what you've been gaming on lately?
And I'm doing that right now. Well, I've been playing Last of Us because I didn't buy the game when the remake came out because I beat it a few times a couple of years ago, like 3 times. So I wanted to get it at a deep discount. Hasn't hit a price that I want yet, and I still got premium up until the end of the month or next week, Friday actually. And I'm waiting for a discount. And if I don't get it, I'm going back to basic. I'm gonna be a basic bitch.
And you've been playing
So,
that on the Pro, right?
yep.
All right. Well, we'll actually talk about the Pro in a little bit because I got some news for some of you guys. So here's the video. Now the video or the clip, it's about a minute 30 seconds long, and it is from Oliver. I'm sorry, Oliver Darko, co-founder of Xbox Era. I'm sorry, not Oliver Darko. I got the video from Oliver Darko, but it is the co-founder of Xbox Era. He's criticizing YouTubers and game writers for mocking Microsoft's new "This is an Xbox" marketing campaign. Mentions the so-called Xbox tax. So for those of you guys that are unaware of what the Xbox tax is, it is a tax or it is a term that people have been using on social media whenever Microsoft gets graded incorrectly. Most of the time it's when they're graded negatively. So if a game gets rated, what's up, Cyber Gaming? So if hey, congratulations, man, that's what's up. So if a game, for example, gets rated a 80 on PlayStation, but a 75 on Xbox because of performance issues or something like that, then people will say, "Oh, that's just the Xbox tax. They're rating the Xbox game higher just because it's Xbox and people hate Xbox." I hope that kind of gives you a little bit of an explanation of what the Xbox tax is. So give me about a minute 30 to show you guys the video, and if you cannot hear or the audio's fucked up, let me know and I will stop it immediately.
Very much. Referred to as
All right, here we go.
this week, following Microsoft Gaming CEO's Phil Spencer's interview tour, Xbox revealed their new advertising campaign, This is an Xbox, which again leans into the Microsoft's every screen is an Xbox mantra. The point being that you don't, in this increasingly digital world, need to invest in a specific device to enjoy Xbox games and content. Why are folks acting like this is a bad thing? Sometimes I get the impression that mainstream games media doesn't like Xbox or Microsoft very much. Referred to as the Xbox tax by fans, it is very true that most gaming media don't play routinely on Xbox, unless they have to. I thought it was a pretty neat ad, but reactions online from a variety of pundits seem to lead into the very tired Xbox is doomed mentality, some surprised that Microsoft are just coming out and saying it out loud. Even now, in 2024, I regularly read articles or hear opinions expressed from professional games media saying that the Xbox brand is pointless and they have to stop announcing games and start releasing them, or even that this new approach is them waving a white flag of surrender. Surrendering to who? PlayStation? Nintendo? Steam? Or is it to the consumer who wants to choose how they consume their games and play them? This week.
Chat, did you guys hear that video? Did it come clear? Let me know. Because depending on what you guys say will depend on what I say next.
Because why did hang on a minute. Why does anybody get anything? Why does anybody get NBC or ESPN or whatever? It's because they got the sport, right?
Also, we can't hear you. You're crackling and coming in broken.
Is it later?
You're coming in a little bit better now. Let me see. Say something else. There we go. Now we can hear you.
I was gonna say, like, why do people get NBC or Care 11 or whatever is to watch like NFL, right? Why does Max make the Penguin or get these shows made to bring people to their shit, right?
Yeah.
Well, if you don't have nothing unique about you, well, then why do you exist?
Yeah. And who did I tell this? I think it was Iron Man who I said, we're talking about exclusives, and I said, first of all, exclusives is an identity, right? And what I mean by that is exclusives. An exclusive to a console manufacturer, a console maker, it's gonna be life or death for that person, right? I mean, we've seen numerous times in the well, not numerous
times. The channel doesn't have a great show for fucking 20 years or 10 years or whatever. What if AMC never had fucking Walking Dead or something? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
Yep, exactly. And
just playing replays of old shows.
Yes, and I'm gonna pull up a tweet by William Aguilar. Shout out to William, and he just made a long post about exclusives and competition and monopolies. And I want to read the first part to you guys because I think he wraps it up very nice, and then I'll go into my discussion, my opinion. Part one, he says why some exclusivity is a good thing that actually prevents a monopoly and is pro-consumer. Okay, he says. Throughout video game discourse, there has been a concerning increase of people arguing that if all video games were on all platforms and exclusivity ended, that it would be pro-consumer and would be a net benefit to consumers and to the industry. This is just simply false. 1,000% agree, but let's see why. All games being available on all devices, stores, platforms would be the end of competition and would lead to a storefront monopoly. There are two kinds of horizontal monopolies, and both are equally bad. a publisher slash manufacturer monopoly, where one company owns or creates all of the products in an industry and there are no competing brands. Cause too much exclusivity consolidation. A store slash platform monopoly, where there may be different brands of competing products, but there's only one place they can be sold. Cause not enough exclusivity. If there are no exclusives to a specific platform slash store, then that means all the different stores will be selling the exact same thing. As a result, the only way they would be able to compete with each other is pricing. Eventually, the biggest and richest store will push out all the other stores out of the market by selling the products at a loss or cheaper
Whatever the hell they want.
than what other stores can sell the product for, and it will become a monopoly. We could apply this hypothetically to the competition between Walmart and Target. So he's absolutely right about that. If everybody sold the exact same shit, I was in the car business for numerous years. If I did work at Subaru, then I worked at Chevy, and then I worked at Infiniti, Porsche, Maserati. Those were all one. I cannot, working at Subaru, it is illegal for my dealership at a Subaru to call Bob's Subaru dealership and say, hey, Bob, this month, let's sell the Outback at $2,000 below retail. And that way we can sell more than all the other Subaru dealerships. That is illegal. You cannot do that. The other thing that we can do, which dealerships do, is they just take a loss. FYI, if you didn't know this, new car dealerships, they don't make money selling you a new car. Their hope is that they sell you a new car and you come back for the oil change, tire rotations, the maintenance, any accidents. That's what they really want from you. The most profitable department in a dealership is the maintenance department, not the new car department, not the used car department. That exactly. You're absolutely right, Brett. That is why PlayStation is in the middle of a class action lawsuit, which they will probably lose. So keep an eye out in the mail, because maybe in 10, 15 years, you're going to get a check for 15 cents from this lawsuit. Why? Because PlayStation only sells their exclusives digitally in their storefront. You cannot buy their games anywhere else. Xbox, you can. So other stores can compete for your business. So they can say, hey, this new game at $70, we'll do it for 65. PlayStation doesn't allow that to happen. So they sell you the game for whatever they want to charge you for. That's another reason why I dislike physical so much, or digital so much, is because the pricing is only controlled by one place. Now, physical, I can shop at Walmart, I can shop at Target. Black Friday is coming up next week. Each business is going to compete with each other on who can sell you what. And that is great for the consumer. You can decide where you want to buy your games. So, talking about exclusivity a little bit. Now, this is coming from me I own everything, right? I own an Xbox, I own a Series, well, I don't own everything, but I own a PS5 and I own a Series X. And I also own a Nintendo Switch. I primarily game on the PS5. The reason I primarily play on the PS5 is because I've noticed that a lot of the games that I play are optimized better on the PS5 versus the Xbox Series X. And I can tell those differences, whether it's frame rates, whether it's fidelity. Now, it's different for everybody. You can play where you like. But the biggest buying factor for me when choosing between a PS5 and the Series X in 2020, and mind you, I wasn't the pony that I am today 5 years ago. I wasn't. I was more casual. I almost went with the Series X, even though I've never owned an Xbox in my life. But I read the reports of how much more powerful it is. I read the reports, the acquisitions.
Xbox over a PlayStation at the beginning of this gen, because I was like, man, the way PlayStation ended that gen and Xbox ain't done shit in 8 years. I mean, they're gonna be balling those first couple of years.
Yes.
Good thing I held out, because I'm still waiting for that shit to happen.
Yes. But you know what was the final thing, Nelson, that said, you know what, I'm just gonna buy a PlayStation and stick with what I have? You know what was that one thing?
When you realize those games weren't coming anytime soon.
No, because I was in a pony, so I didn't know. I didn't know nothing about the news. I didn't know nothing. I was just your regular casual gamer. That's it. I was regular casual. I didn't know more than the regular person knows on the street. The one thing that told me, go ahead and buy the PlayStation instead of the Xbox, even though on paper the Xbox was stronger, the marketing was on fire, it had Halo, they were promoting Halo. The one thing was, I just finished playing Ghost of Tsushima, and Spider-Man was coming out. Those two things were the things that made me go with the PS5 as a casual gamer. What are those two things? Those are exclusives. So because of exclusives is why I bought a PlayStation 5 in 2020. Now, we are the hardcore gamers, so we know way more information than the regular person. But let's be real here. If you're a regular gamer, guy or girl, doesn't matter, or kid getting ready to ask your mommy and daddy for your Christmas gift, you're going to ask them based on where your friends are playing and what games you can play where. And that's how it's always been. PlayStation, with their exclusives, has that beat. PlayStation, with their player count, has that beat. I mean, PlayStation is reaching what, almost 80 million, Nelson? Or are they over 80 million?
Under 70, but
okay.
We're only 4 years in, too.
Yes. So at this pace, I just saw this too recently. At this pace, the PlayStation should finish at right around 130 some million consoles if they have a little bit of a boom at the end with the pricing being lowered. That's what they're projecting, between 130 and 140 million.
Crazy too, because normally they can drop freaking the price. Well, manufacturing is a little different now, but normally they can drop it $100 in a couple of years, and they're still making a profit off of it. But
yeah, well,
the world isn't the same.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because now we're going to talk about the PlayStation 5 Pro. Hey, the strongest console in the world, the most powerful with his RDNA 1. So I made a video, y'all, but I didn't put it out. The reason I didn't put it out was because after rewatching it, my energy was off. I wasn't concentrating, and I already did the unboxing and shit. And for those of y'all that don't know, I did a giveaway yesterday on my channel. Shout out to Hero Down Under, who was one of the winners, and I gave away a $25 PlayStation Store gift card. So shout out to Hero. I'm glad he got it. One of day one subscribers. Thank you, Hero. But during that moment, there was some fraudulent activity, and I was dealing with that while trying to do this video, and my energy was off. And I'm just like, I'm not gonna put this I'm not gonna put this video out. Like, I'm not gonna fucking repackage everything, and like, that's fake as fuck. So fuck it. I'm just gonna leave it as is. But I got a PS5 Pro. I got it yesterday. So I think Will personally feels that I want to talk a little bit about why I got the Pro, especially how vocal I've been about the Pro, or not the Pro itself, but the way that the Pro has been priced. A friend of mine hit me up. He wanted to sell me his Pro, and by the way, he gave me the okay. Obviously, I'm keeping personal information, but his wife got let go from her job last week, and they wanted to do the change to her being a stay-home mom and raising his daughters or their kids. And they're like, well, you just lost your job. How about we do this now and you just become a stay-home mom? And even though they weren't quite ready for it, they didn't want to lose this opportunity and have to, her find another job and go through the whole process and then get a little bit more situated and, do the whole thing. So they just said, let's do it now. Well, in order to do so, they were downsizing, right? Financially, they're okay, but they knew that they had to make some changes to keep this stay-at-home mom thing going. So he got rid of a lot of his shit, and she's getting rid of a lot of her shit, hobby wise. So my buddy, he's a casual gamer, but he still owns everything. He owned the Xbox, PlayStation 5, the Slim, the Pro, Switch, Steam Deck, PC, the whole 9 yards. Well, he sold some things to his coworker. He sold some things to his brother-in-law. His wife is selling her books. She's got a huge book collection, and she's also selling some of her pottery stuff. She makes pottery as well, and that's what they're doing, right? So he hit me up and he was like, "Hey man, I'm selling all my shit. I didn't hit you up before because you got everything I'm selling except for the Pro." And he said, "Would you be interested?" I said, "How much?" And he told me the price. And at first I wasn't gonna do it. I then messaged Nelson about it. I messaged RPG about it and Warwana about it. And all three of them told me the same shit. It's like, dude, fucking buy it, and you're helping out a friend. So I fucking did. And so that's what I did. I went ahead and bought it earlier this
I'd
week.
say no such thing.
Well, he did keep the controller. He did keep the controller, so I just got literally the console and the wires. Earlier this week, I got the disc drive in the mail. I bought that this week for my PlayStation Slim 30th anniversary edition, which is coming next week. They just billed me for it this week, and so I bought it because I saw that it was getting sold out. Even though I'm quite not well at the time, now I'm not going to because I got the Pro. But at the time, I wasn't sure if I was gonna open it and use it or if I was just gonna store it and then flip it. Because the reality of it, guys, I bought the PlayStation 5 Slim 30th anniversary edition to make money off of it. I mean, I saw how much people were trying to sell that thing for, and to be real, I was like, I need to try to get into this. So right now, the PS5 Slim 30th anniversary um was is selling between $700-800. I know if I hold on to it in a couple years, it'll be double that. So that's the main reason I bought it. But so I bought a disc drive for it just in case I did want to take it out the box because my son he doesn't have a PS5. He has a 4 Pro and he's got a Series S. And I was like, it'd be nice to just give him a PS5. So that was my thinking at the time. Well, my buddy hit me up with this opportunity, and honestly, I felt kind of guilty about it because I bought it for $500, and he kept the controller, so I'm essentially paying $120 less than retail. And remember, my biggest gripe with the Pro wasn't that there is a Pro. I think that if there's any advancements in the technology, put it out there. Let the customer decide if they want it or not. My biggest gripe, and it was mostly an emotional gripe, is I don't think it's fair, which heading back to what Nelson said, life ain't fair, that I have to pay $809 in order to get the Pro as I need it, meaning I need a disc drive because most of my games are physical. I need a stand. So now I'm going to be paying $809 before taxes just to have the Pro compatible as my OG PS5. So that was my biggest qualms with the Pro. And also, I felt that the upgrades weren't enough to justify that price without all these items that I mentioned. So that was my whole thing with the Pro. It's not that I hated the Pro or anything like that. I just didn't like the pricing. And then you add little shit like PlayStation changed the design of the plates or the teeth, right? So you can't bring your slim plates to the Pro when they're literally the same size and the same dimensions except for the teeth part. And it just felt like
Purpose.
they did it on purpose, and it just feels like PlayStation is nickel and diming, really taking advantage of their customers and how popular they are and how good they are. And one side of me can't blame them, right? One side of me is like, hey, it's business. They came out with a product that is very popular and very hot, and people want it.
That's ridiculous, dude. Thank God I don't buy a lot of accessories, but
Well,
it's like, bro, you did that deliberate. If it's the same size, this was done intentional.
Well, dude, that was my biggest gripe, right? That's why I say it's emotional because I buy everything from PlayStation. There isn't anything from PlayStation that PlayStation has released that I haven't bought. If I haven't bought it, it's because I wasn't able to get it.
I haven't bought a dual sense fucking
Edge.
Pro thing, a Portal, plates. I don't buy a lot of shit.
I mean, I'm the opposite. The only thing
buy the shit I want, and that's it. All right, I know I'm going to use. That's
The
why I
only
bought a Pro. It's my new console, and my kid's got a console.
the only
That's it.
thing that I haven't purchased is the Spider-Man plates, and only because I couldn't get them, and I wasn't gonna pay $150 for $55 plates. But that's literally the only thing I haven't bought that PlayStation has released. Otherwise, all the plate colors I've purchased. Almost all the controller colors I've purchased. Right now, I'm looking at the Astrobot controller, Spider-Man controller, Fortnite controller, which my son wanted to keep. I even bought the LeBron James controller only because it was $40
That
last Black
shit.
Friday.
None of it.
Name one.
I
Name
wanted the. Oh, I got the the 30th anniversary controller now, thanks to Will.
yes.
I will
You're
shortly.
welcome. You're welcome.
That's it. That's the
welcome.
only accessory I've bought in fucking this gen.
Oh, I don't know if I told you, but I couldn't switch the shipping address to your address, so it was gonna have to come to me, and then I'll ship it out to you.
Yeah, just let me know what else I owe you.
I already told you. Well, anyways, so yeah, so I the only reason I bought the LeBron James controller is that the Conquer controller. I'm kicking myself in the nuts, dude. I'm so pissed I didn't get that fucking controller. I thought that I had time because the LeBron James controller. Only reason I bought that is because it was on sale last Black Friday for 40 bucks. I think it was 40 or $45. $40. And I'm like, you cannot get any cheaper for a DualSense controller than $40. So I bought it. And the only reason it was on sale is because nobody bought the LeBron James bullshit. Like nobody fucks, at least in the gaming world. Like we don't care about LeBron James in the gaming world. Like sure, he's great at basketball, but who fucking cares with the PlayStation shit? So I said I
A
skipped
lot of
it.
people off too. He's a whiny little bitch.
He is. But I bought it because it was on sale. I'm like $40. Fuck yeah, I'll buy it for $40. And that became my son's controller up until the Fortnite controller. So the Fortnite controller I bought, and I had every intention of returning it. This is right when I made my decision of fuck PlayStation. I ain't buying no more of their shit because now they're nickel and diming me. And then I asked my son, like, hey, do you want this? If you don't, I'm gonna return it. He's like, no, let's keep it. So now that's the controller he uses. But yeah, I buy everything. So then PlayStation has the Slim and the Slim Physical. The Slim is $450. The Physical is $500. All PlayStation is doing is giving you a disc drive that you can buy separately, but you get it for $50 instead of $80. So they're giving you a $30 discount by bundling both together. That's all I wanted for the Pro. Literally, if they would have done a Pro with a disc drive for $749, I would have bought it day one, but they didn't. They said, you know what, fuck you. Not only are you going to pay for this disc drive full price, you're also going to buy the stand at full price, which is $30 fucking dollars. And that's on top of us doing triple the profits last quarter. Last quarter, they went from a projected 300 billion to 900 billion. They're making a shit ton of money off hardware. They're making a shit ton of money off the Pro. They're making a shit ton of money on the Slim. So it's not like old times where they're selling these consoles at a loss so they can make the money on the back end with the software. No, they're making money.
The PS4 at a loss after the first year.
Yeah, they did, but we're not
No,
there
didn't.
anymore. No, I'm saying that
they didn't sell at a loss.
No, I know they made
sold
money.
It at a loss the first year.
First year, yes, they made money. But with the PS5, they started making money almost immediately. I think it was like 3 or 6 months where they caught up. And
the physical, I think it was 9 months. But
9 months.
Yeah.
Also, with the pricing, they're making a shit ton of money off the hardware, and you couldn't give me fucking $30 to upgrade, and I felt salty about that, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna buy it. Now I see the differences in the Pro and the PS5 Slim. I see the PSSR, the ray tracing, and all that. But now for the amount of money you're asking me, so the additional money that I have to spend, to the benefits that the Pro had at the time or has, I didn't want to spend an additional $300 for that. So I said I'm out. I'm not gonna do it. I'll wait till maybe next year Black Friday. They do a bundle where they include the disc drive for $700 or something, and maybe buy it then, right? But then this opportunity came up, and like my buddy said, $500. He kept the controller. So essentially, I'm paying, $580 for a Pro, which is $120 cheaper than buying retail. But I still had to buy the disc drive, so that's another $80. And the stand, I'm right at $700 any fucking ways. So I paid for the Pro $700 now to get all the shit that I would have had if I would have bought it from PlayStation at $700. So um so he overcame that objection and I went ahead and did it. Now, I haven't been playing much with the Pro, but the very first game that I played is the one you're seeing on screen right now. AK-xolotl, I think it's called. And the biggest thing that I've seen already is the frames. Wow, was it a difference in frames from me playing on my regular PS5 to this? The game,
Axolotl game gets higher frames?
higher frames, bro.
Really? I didn't
Yeah.
think indie would support it.
And look, no, it's not a PS5 enhanced game, so it doesn't say enhanced. But I can definitely tell the difference in frames. I mean, it's almost 9-day difference. Like for example, I installed or I played Horizon Lego. There's no difference in that from the OG PS5. Now, it's not an enhanced game, but I didn't see any difference. The other game that I'm installing that I was trying to show during the podcast was Final Fantasy Rebirth. It's done installing now, but if I switch it, it'll knock
I
off.
hadn't finished that game because I played the whole thing in performance, so I'm like kicking myself now that. But I didn't know at the time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wish I would have put that shit on the shelf and played it later. Now.
Well, that was the another thing too, right? Because you guys, you know, a lot of the people who wanted the Pro Day One were so excited about the 60 at 4K and shit. And me, I really don't care about that because PlayStation first party already gives me 30, 40, 60. But there are some games that I haven't finished playing or that I started playing that are Pro enhanced, which I'll be playing, like Dragon's Age, or not Dragon's Age, Dragon's Dogma, um, Final Fantasy Rebirth. I'm looking forward to Stellar Blade DLC next week with the Nier Automata. So there's a few games that are enhanced with the Pro that I can definitely take advantage of. Because another thing that I was talking about is what games. There isn't any new games to make me want to buy this Pro to take advantage of it, right? All the games that are enhanced, I have already beaten or have played. But then I really started thinking carefully after I got the Pro, and I'm like, oh shit, I got Dragon's Dogma, Rebirth, Stellar Blade is coming out. The Star Wars game that Ubisoft just released. What's it called? Star Wars Outlaws. Just I only got like 4 hours in that game. So I'm like, oh, there's some games here. And then of course as time goes on, we'll see more and more games. But my first impressions, RPG, shout out to you, bro. You kept it 100 with me, and not just kept it 100 with me, but you also know me. You know me as a gamer. RPG told me we were actually playing Dying Light 2, and he said, Will, don't buy this because if you buy it, you're gonna plug it in.
I asked you if you bought that Concord controller.
No, I know. I told them that I'm stupid. I should have. That thing is now selling for like $300. But he's like, yeah, don't buy it because you're gonna get that feeling of regret because you don't give a fuck about frames as much as others. So that's the biggest thing you're gonna see. RPG, he's a frames per second snob, right? So he loves that frames per second and he loves the higher frames. But yeah, I'm getting more excited about the Pro as I go with it. Now the possibilities with it, like I'm excited to check out Resident Evil 4 and see what 100 frames looks like. I've never seen a game at 120 frames because I'm a console gamer, right? But I'm excited to see what that looks like now. My TV is compatible 100% with the Pro, but I'm now even thinking about buying a new TV just because I want a bigger screen. But yeah, so I got it yesterday. I haven't had much time with it. As time goes on, I'll definitely be playing it. You guys know that I play about 2,200 hours a year. I play a lot. But yeah, it wasn't something I was planning. It wasn't something that I wanted. It was something that just popped up. I wanted to help out a friend, and he gave me a good deal, and I took it. I did put me and War One were joking in Discord. I had to assemble it. I had to put the SSD on. I had to put the stand on. I had to put the disk drive on. And to PlayStation's credit, It was very easy. The disc drive was very, very easy. Literally, you pop off the plate, you line up the arrows, you push it down, all done. SSD, the SSD is more complicated because you have to undo 2 screws. And the stand, pretty simple as well. The only thing that fucked me up is which hole to stick it in. That's what she said. Besides that, yeah, so I was gonna put a video out of me unboxing it, which is literally taking it out the box, and that's it. Because there was, he did wrap it all up together and shit. The cables were still wrapped up brand new. All he did was use the old, his PS5 Slim's cable, like the HDMI cable, the power cable, and he just took it out and then swapped it in with the Pro. So all that stuff was still brand new, still rolled real nicely how PlayStation does it. The only thing is I'm missing the controller. Oh, and there's a little scuff mark. His daughter threw a crayon at it and whatever, but you can barely notice it, and who gives a fuck? For $120 savings, I'll take a little tiny scuff mark that you can't even see on there. But besides that, the glossy part of the PS5 Pro is still immaculate. It looks like literally you took it out the box brand freaking new. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with the decision to pull to buy it. Um, Nelson, how has your experience been with the Pro?
Pretty good. I mean, I didn't really buy it to play older games. I bought it for all the games I buy in the future, but the ones I've played, the only ones I've really played that took advantage of it that I'm aware of is Dead Island 2, which I noticed right off the rip. As soon as I booted up, I didn't even know it was Pro, or because I was just playing with you. I didn't even look to see if it had a patch, but I knew just as soon as it came up. And Gran Turismo are the only ones I've really played that have been enhanced. And yeah, I can notice 60 from 120, and it looks the same as it did at 60, but I'm playing at 120.
Does
So,
it? Well, isn't it
yeah.
something about your eyes can only see so many frames? So like after a point.
I can feel in the car though.
Well, yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know. War says loads of games run at 120 frames on PS5 though, right? I don't know. I don't know. I know Resident Evil runs at 120 because I've been seeing people talk about it. I don't think I've experienced 120. Well, I take that back. Call of Duty runs at 120 on the PS5 OG. But that's the only game that I know of. I don't know if any other game does. I don't have a frames counter. You know what I'm saying? My TV I bought in 2020, right before the PS5 came out. I literally went to Best Buy. I bought a LG. Fuck, I don't know what it is. A LG something, and I wanted it.
B1.
I think it's C1. That sounds way more familiar.
C1's 2.1, isn't it?
I have two. I only got one port though. So whatever LG that's got only one HDMI 2.1, that's the one that I have. And I'm pissed about that. I wish I would have noticed that it only had one because I would have liked to have at least two. Because my Xbox is currently.
Mine only has two.
Yeah, my Xbox is hooked up to the regular HDMI 2.0, so I can't really get those, that little crispier image. But I'm pissed about that. I wish I would have noticed that. But yeah, it's 4K, just the whole 9 yards smart TV, but it doesn't have a frame counter. And the new LG TVs are newer since 2022 have is called Game. Oh man, it's called the Game Center or something like that. And basically, if a little screen pops up at the bottom or a little window pops up at the bottom of the screen, and it shows your frames while you're playing the game. And the TVs,
LG
VR.
has those, but the Sony don't. That's actually kind of why I wanted to get the LG. But when I went in and looked at them, the G3 was better than I thought was better than I got the Sony A8L. But for the same price, it was the same price as the C3, which I like the Sony A8L a lot. But I was like, man, I want that frame counter, but the difference in picture, I can't trade off. You know what I'm saying? Like that counter ain't worth it enough for me to trade off.
Yeah. No,
if
absolutely.
the G3 would have been on sale, I would have left with that bitch, but it wasn't. Fucking cocksuckers.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I might buy one. I might buy another one this holiday. I mean, I have a 55 inch. I think I want to go 65 or 70. What is it, 72 or some shit? I think I want to just get a bigger and something a little bit newer. My
I'm
last
stuck with a 65 because that's all that'll fit in my corner.
your corner. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a big old wall. I originally was gonna, whatever. But yeah, I'm like my son needs a TV too. I bought him the LG 855 UN something, which is actually a pretty good TV, man. Same thing. It's got only one HDMI 2.1, but it does 4K. It's got VRR. It's got it's got all those things. But that one, it's a 40. Is it 50, 45? It's like a 45 inch, and I paid
Normally
750,
it's 42 and 46. You can get
42.
45s, but
Okay, so yeah, something
46
like
is the
that.
more 46 is the more, what do you want to call it? More used size. It's like 42, 46, 52, 55, 60 and 65, I think. The more typical sizes, but
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, it was so I'm thinking about just giving my son, the TV that I currently have right now and just upgrading. But yeah, no, I'm satisfied with the TV, man. It's a really nice TV. The TV that I had before, the one that I got now, was a Sony Bravia that I bought when I got out the military. So that TV was like 10 years old. So when I bought this one, I wanted it to run the PS5 as
it's longer than
best
that.
as
You've
it
been on
could.
since like 2010, haven't you? That's like fucking 15 years old now.
Well, dude, I'm saying the TV, I bought it in 2020 when the PS5 came out. So that was 10 years from when I bought the
Oh,
TV.
oh, okay.
So I
Yeah.
had a Sony Bravia that I bought in 2010, and then I didn't buy any TVs
The
at
shit was
all.
probably 720p.
It's 1080. It's actually 1080. But I
uh,
remember paying, it was expensive, dude. It was like 15, 2
I was gonna
Gs.
say because I paid like $500 just for my fucking 720 back then
Yeah,
on my
no,
PS3.
it's
I bought an
ridiculous.
Insignia. Those were like $500 or $600 back then, and they weren't that nice. I couldn't afford a 1080. Those were like two grand.
Yeah, no, Hero, I have yeah, mine does not have, or mine has a white back. So does that mean I have a CX? Let me Google it. LG I don't even remember what I paid for it. I just remember going to Best Buy and being so fucking excited for the damn TV,
You probably have
cuz
a C1. I think that was the first LG year they offered 2.1, and they probably only gave you one port because they're probably very expensive back then.
yeah, I only got one port. That's the thing that pisses me off. Um yeah, I forgot. I think I ended up paying like 1500 or something like that. 2 Gs, I don't remember. I just told the dude, hey, I'm getting a PS5. I need the TV that can run that thing. And he's like, yeah, you and everybody else, this is what I have left. And I remember having the PS5 in my trunk in my car, and I'm like, I don't have time for this. I need this one. So it wasn't really the TV I wanted. I knew that it was enough for the PS5, but normally I would have just, done my research and shopped. The only reason I didn't even know about the 4K. I mean, I knew the better fidelity and stuff like that, but I was just gonna use my Samsung, which I had besides the Bravia. I was just gonna use that. I had a good time with it. I loved the picture in it, but it wasn't until I talked to a friend of mine. He's like, "Dude, you gotta get a TV. You're gonna have fucking 4K. You're gonna have, all this." I was like, "Oh shit, you're right," and that's why I bought the TV kind of last minute. But this time around, maybe this Christmas, I'll go ahead and cough up some money and actually buy a decent one. Which I don't know. Guys, is my TV a good one to have for anybody who's listening? Is the LG C1 is it pretty good? Is that something that you guys would recommend for somebody looking for a TV to go with their um
Not
yes,
bad.
the Q90 is what I had, Hero.
Oh, Q90 was nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Way nicer than that.
that
I had
was
a
my main.
Q70. My kids busted that. That was $13, $1,300 for a 65.
Yeah, I bought the Q90 was like my living room TV. So I didn't want to have my console living room, you know what I'm saying? I wanted it in my game room. So that's why I went ahead. and bought the TV. But either way, last topic that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Sorry, we went on a tangent about TVs and shit, but there you guys heard my PS5 story. I wasn't planning on it. I actually I actually got guidance from the council. So shout out to Warwana, RPG, and Nelson for giving me advice on this. Because $500 is still $500, man. You know what I mean? It's still a lot of money. Thankfully, it went to a friend of mine, and I got a PS5 Pro. So win-win situation. The other topic that I wanted to talk about is, well, two topics. The first one I want to talk about is the save data fiasco. Nelson, have you seen the save data
No idea what
fiasco?
we're talking about.
So the save data, yes, the the Council of Nosy Opinionated Complainers, yes, but I respect you guys' opinion, man, because you guys are gamers, you guys are my friends, and I appreciate you guys. If I didn't give a fuck, I wouldn't have asked you guys. That's the reason I didn't ask maybe somebody else, right? Because I do hold to value what you guys have to say, whether you're shitting on me or not. But the whole save data fiasco is people are saying that in order to transfer your data from the PS5 to the PS5 Pro, you need to have PS Plus. Otherwise, you cannot transfer it.
I got
And
PS Plus and I still can't do it, so I don't know what you're talking about. I can't do it at all. Don't work.
yes, yeah, you're right, Warwana. It isn't new. But basically, I wanted to talk about how you can transfer your save data.
Oh,
One,
good. Because my kids are pissed.
One, you literally just download everything all over again. Like, for example, I didn't hook up my PS5 to
That
the.
don't help the PS5 though. It doesn't help my kids, I should say.
Well, that's when your kids have to.
My clouds ones do. They just
Oh,
gotta
yeah,
start
you're
over,
right.
bitch.
So for your kids, no, you can hook up.
They're fucked.
Did you hook up your PS5 to the Pro USB-C?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. I
Oh
tried
my
putting
goodness.
USB-Cs in the front.
Dude, so, well, you got to plug it in. So plug in your PS5, put the USB-C, and connect the USB-C to the PS5 Pro, and go to the settings, transfer data. That's it. It'll transfer everything from your PS5 over to your PS5 Pro. It's gonna take a
No,
long ass
let's
time
see.
though. So do it before you go to bed or something we have time, and it'll
I think I'm just
transfer
gonna
over.
make the kids use the PS5 and tell them to fuck off. I don't know.
Yes. But the whole fiasco, like Warwana says here, is without PS Plus, you cannot transfer to USB. That is it, guys. But without PS Plus, there is no cloud. That's the thing. If you don't have PS Plus, how are you going to have cloud? You can't. So either download the shit again, or you need the cloud for that, or just hook it up. Hook up USB-C to USB-C, PS5 to PS5 Pro. Go to the settings. If you're starting the console fresh, it'll let you know right away in the options, like in the beginning when you're setting up the Wi-Fi. It'll let you know, would you like to transfer over your data? Also, another cool thing is I just took the SSD from my PS5, installed it in the PS5 Pro, and everything else in the drive, it's on the Pro now. I didn't have to reformat anything or delete anything. None of that. It's literally from one place to the other. That's it. Yeah, dude, I have over 70 gigs of saved data from like saved games on the cloud. Insane. The save data is incredible. That's what I mean. Yes. Yeah, I mean, at a bare minimum, you should have PS Plus basic. I think that's still a good value, even at $80. And if you can, this Black Friday, we're gonna see, right? Because right now, if you're subscribed to PS
I ain't gonna
Plus,
have Plus for a week.
when does yours run out?
To Friday.
Right. Okay, so yeah, you got a whole week to go. But basically, right now, if you're subscribed to PS Plus, this is just an example. Let's say you're subscribed to PS Plus right now, And right now, PlayStation drops a 30% off PS Plus. If you are subscribed to PS Plus right now, you cannot take advantage of that sale. You
It's
cannot
horseshit.
do that. Well, that's another way Sony is nickel and diming you guys. You cannot do that. Now,
I've always stacked. I've bought 2 years at a time, many times,
yeah, me too.
while I've been active.
Me too. Well, my
Horseshit.
PS Plus ends Black Friday. So Black Friday, I'm gonna see if I let my shit run out, if I'm able to take advantage of the savings. Because I don't know if PlayStation is doing it to the point where if it's only for new PS Plus subscribers. We'll see. If they're willing to not give current PS Plus subscribers discounts, what's to say that they won't do the same shit for people who had PS Plus, but they didn't renew it waiting for a sale? Who knows? PlayStation is really, really fucking going dirty. They don't give a fuck. And this is all Xbox fault. If Xbox was on their shit and it was actually competition,
You got a point.
damn, dude,
No
I think
one wants an Xbox. I can't believe how fucking bad they're selling, dude. Like, everyone has their ups and downs and shit like that, but they've been down, down, down since fucking. They've been nothing but down, man.
yeah. And yeah, War, it
Their
is
shit goes
complete.
down every quarter.
This is
It's fucking
bullshit.
crazy.
And you're absolutely right, it's bullshit, Wara. The USB, that's like, come on, bro. Like, I think that the reason that they might not do the USB thing, and correct me if I'm wrong, is because they don't want you taking the actual software from the PS5 and put in a USB. Maybe that's the reason, but I don't know if you can bypass that or what. But let me know what you guys think about that. But yeah, the whole USB not being able to transfer shit from your PS5 to a USB and then installing it again, that's ridiculous, man. Like, what would you do if there's no fucking internet? And who don't? Yeah, it is terrible. You don't want to use a USB, but still. All right, and the last thing that I want to talk about before we wrap this show up is an IP that's very dear to me, Horizon. Is Horizon as an IP dying out? What do you think, Nelson? Do you think it's dying out as an IP? Nelson? Oh, Nelson.
Wait.
There you are.
I don't know. I love it. I don't give a fuck what y'all think.
So the reason I'm bringing this Dying Light, or not Dying Light, Horizon dying out is because Steam numbers for Horizon Legos is showing at around 600, is doing slightly worse than Concord, and people are saying that PlayStation is going too hard on Horizon too fast. So this year we got the Horizon Lego game, we also got the Horizon Zero Dawn remaster, and then last year we got the Horizon DLC. The year before that, we got the Horizon game. And then before that, Horizon Zero Dawn a few years before. And then this year, they're coming out with or rumor is that they're coming out with the Horizon Live Service game. So they're saying that because Horizon Forbidden West sold less games than the first one, because Lego Horizon is doing poorly, that the Horizon IP is dying out. And what I want to say to that is, I don't think it's dying out. What I will say though is that, well, two things. One, Horizon sold a lot of copies. I mean, they're close to like 35 million copies sold in 2 games, and most of those copies sold were from Zero Dawn. I think PlayStation really shot themselves in the foot with
Put it into the
Horizon,
Plus.
put it into Plus. But
Way
also
too fast.
absolutely way too fast. But also, Horizon IP is incredible to me. There are so many things they can do with it. For example,
I want them to go into space.
I want them
You
to
pay attention to the second one, like you could see this going into space.
Yeah.
And after the third.
I want them to go back to the machine war before Horizon Zero Dawn. So before the 1,000 years later, I think it's 1,000 years later. Before,
Oh, like fucking the day it started, like E-Day?
yeah, like E-Day. Like if they did an online multiplayer game like that with a story campaign or a campaign just that or online multiplayer with that where you're the machines versus the soldiers and you're the soldiers trying to stop the machines from eating up all the organic shit in the world before they all go into their bunker and do their thing in order for Aloy to happen 1,000 years later. That to me is incredible. So the point is that I don't think Horizon is dying out. I think that PlayStation is fucking up. And because PlayStation is fucking up, is watering down the Horizon IP. Because we all saw the leaks for the Horizon um, Gas game, and we saw the art style, and it's very animated, very Fortnite-ish. I just don't think gamers want that. The type of gamer that's playing Horizon is us. We're the demographics for Horizon, not the teenagers. I don't think many teenagers are out here playing Horizon. They're playing Fortnite or Call of Duty or 2K or something like that, The majority, the casual gamers. I don't think that these people are going to be playing Horizon PvP with art style that looks like Fortnite. I just don't think that is. And as hardcore gamers, we don't want that. But if you keep it serious, if you give us that E-Day type of game, this IP can really, really blow up. You can do it like the Star Wars, the prequel and the sequels. You know what I mean? But yeah, the Lego game, I've been playing it. I like it. Not, I don't love it. I like it. There are some complaints like dodge. You can't dodge. You can't roll, which is really a pain in the ass. You can only jump. It doesn't do as much as other Lego games do. The world isn't as destructible. So those are like my little complaints. The things that I do like about it is that I get more Aloy, more Varl, more of the characters. They're still voiced by the same voice actors, except that now they're more quirky. Their personalities are very playful. They're always cracking jokes because it's a Lego game. So you get to see a different side of these voice actors. I really like that. I also like that you can swap out between characters, which is a Lego thing. You can do it all the time. But the biggest thing that I like about it is that it's co-op. You can do couch co-op or online co-op. So if there's anybody out there who owns Horizon Lego, hit me up, man. I would love to play the game with you co-op. I've been playing in the hardest difficulty, and it's been kicking my ass. But I needed to do that because on normal mode it's just way too easy. Way too easy. For anybody who's kind of interested in the game, I say wait for a sale. Don't buy this. Don't spend $60 on this. Wait till it goes on sale, man, because I don't know the length of the game, but people are saying it's roughly about 10 hours. I don't think it's justified the cost. I mean, the game looks beautiful. The game, works. There's no bugs. There's no stuttering. There's no ghosting. There's no none of that shit. It's just a well-made game, but it is missing some of those things to complete it, to make it great. I hope they do update it and they include some of these things because I think it will push this game to the next level. Exploration is basically non-existent in this game. But the biggest thing is it's missing a lot of those things that Lego games are known for. But either way, that is all we have for you today. Nelson, anything else you want to tell the people?
No, I was just gonna say if you want to get a pro though, look at your bank account. If you got kids, keep in mind it's buying stuff. It's buying a pro is buying for games that coming in the future. If your money's tight and stuff like that, and think about it, you spend that money now, it's gonna put you, you know what I mean, against the wall for Christmas time. Just wait till spring break, spring tax season or something. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I agree with that sentiment 1,000%. Now, mind you, I've only been one day with it, and I haven't even played the games that it shows the updates or the upgrades. But just based on what I've been playing, and you're contemplating to switch between your 5 and the Pro, don't do it. Don't do it quite yet. Wait till the games come out. Wait till you have,
They're expensive.
Yes, it's very expensive, man. Remember, you got to spend $700 for the console. Then you got to spend $70 for the disc drive, $80 for the disc drive, and then $30 for the stand. I will say the stand is very nice, but it's not worth no fucking $30. I paid 32 with taxes. But wait, just wait. You do not need this thing, man. It does look slick. It's smaller. Like I'm looking at it, and it looks pretty badass. I kind of don't like how the disk drive is sticking out on the side. Like if it looks like it has a tumor, I don't like that. But it is a smaller console. Height wise, it's a little bit thinner than the OG
And
PS5.
I put it up next to my Fat Boy, and it is, yeah, that's a feisty meatball right there. That OG PS5. Whew.
Yeah, that's a big boy. Well, I'm comparing it with the disk drive. Um, but yeah, I think that the disk drive, the design with the OG with the disk drive has a much sleeker design than the Pro and the Slim does with the disk drive. It just feels like they slimmed it so down that the disk drive is just so bulky. But it looks good, man. It looks good. I like the three line thingy. Yeah, it looks fine. The plates to remove them is way easier than the OG PS5. But yeah, I'll keep playing it. If you guys are interested in to know, if somebody like me who wasn't interested in the Pro like that, who thought that the upgrades weren't all that, let me know. I'm really hoping that this thing blows me away. So far, like I said, man, I've been fine with my OG. PlayStation first party really spoils us. They give us 30, 40, 60 already. VRR, like a lot of the shit, it's already there. So we'll see how it goes. But shout out to my buddy who hooked me up with the Pro. Without him, I would have probably not have gotten a Pro. I didn't get a PS4 Pro until last year. That's when I got a PS4 Pro. Only because I was able to get it for $100. It's basically brand new as well. And my PS4 finally took a shit. So I wanted my son to have a PlayStation so we could play together. And I didn't want to buy him a PS5 because he's really not into PS5 like that. He plays Series S. But now I have an extra one. So there we go. And I do want to say one more thing. Anybody who watches my channel who is looking to be malicious with it, fuck you. You're a piece of shit. You are a piece of shit and you're ruining for the rest. I did a giveaway because I felt appreciated by the community. I felt supported by the community and I wanted to give back. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not even 100,000aire. I work for a living. I go to work every day. I got a mortgage. I raise a family. I have a freaking '09 Honda Civic that I drive. I am not made of money. So giving something away back to the community was my way of saying thank you the best way that I knew how. Because sometimes words just aren't enough. And you or they out here trying to take advantage of that shit, fuck you. You're a fucking loser and a piece of shit. Thankfully, the people that won did get what they had coming to them, but stay vigilant out there. I know that a lot of us are friends and a lot of us communicate with each other. And thankfully, because of that, we were able to tell right away that this person or people are scammers. But keep your communities tight knit, keep it close, but still remember that this is still online. These are still strangers. These are still people from all over the world that we may not know very well at all. And they may have bad intentions. So thank y'all so much for rocking with us every week, Sunday nights. This Tuesday, we're back with the Just Playing live stream. Me, RPG. Hopefully, Henry comes back, but he's taking a sabbatical from social media. Don't know when he'll be back. Hopefully, he comes back soon. And thank y'all, man. The channel is at 140 subscribers. We're growing. You guys have been commenting, liking, and sharing my videos. It's insane. Thank you so much. Hopefully soon we can start sharing the podcast over on Nelson's channel, and we'll switch back and forth with his channel and mine, and help Nelson grow his channel as well. So I'll put the link at the end of the video in the description to Nelson's channel. if y'all can do me a favor and click that link, hop on over, subscribe. Nelson's been posting a shit ton of gameplay videos. Hey, Nelson, when you share the videos, there's a title and in a series of numbers. Delete all those fucking numbers. Just keep the title, whatever you typed in. But head on over to Nelson's channel, watch his shit, hit like, and subscribe more importantly, because soon we will be switching every Sunday from Nelson's channel over to my channel for the State of Game podcast. Anything else, Nelson?
Streaming the game here shortly too.
All right, y'all. We'll talk to you guys next Tuesday. And for y'all State of Game listeners, we'll see y'all next week, Sunday. Keep it. Oh, the following week, Black Friday week. Keep an eye out because we're gonna do a show Black Friday, and Tornado Screw's gonna be on. So we just gotta tighten down the bolts on that one and figure out a time. But stay tuned. If you're not following me on Twitter
It'll
or
probably
Discord,
be in the afternoon because he's got to get up early. So
okay, yeah, it'll probably be sometime you have to. But follow us on Twitter, join our
5,
Discord,
6, something like that.
and stay in touch. That way you can know what time the show will be that week. So it's next week Friday. This week it's normal, but next week is when we're gonna do it on Friday. All right, y'all, keep it gaming.